Time for some Friday fun with fan favorites Phil Flynn, a Fox Business News contributor, and Alan Knuckman, the chief market strategist at bullseyeoption.com. Ready to go, guys. Round number one, Dow domination. A 50K day is now within sight for the Dow, which crossed 48,000 this week. Money is rotating into the industrials. What's your rotation situation?
Well, that's all it is. It's just rotating. You see some of the high flyers, some profit taking on those stocks. Now, let's also remember it's a rubber band snapback. The Dow is only, let me say it again, only up 30% from its April lows, where you've got the S&P up 40%, the Russell up 40%, and the NASDAQ up 50%. So it still has some room to work. The Dow Industrials, if you look at it, it's a price-based index, so it's not fair. It's not a real good barometer. UNH is a stock that's down 40% still, and there are still 10 stocks that are negative over the last 52 weeks in the Dow. So there's more upside there. I like Verizon, VZ, between 40 and 45 here, and it's been trading sideways, so I think that could recover as well.
Yeah, I kind of look at this and it's been forever, when the Dow's making new highs and the other ones aren't. And people are like, what's going on here? But it's right. It is rotation. And it's something we have been seeing coming for a long time. We've been talking about for a long time. We're surprised it took so long, right? Because you've had these massive profits in these artificial intelligence stocks. You've had the industrial sector stocks really being below where they've been historically, and you're seeing a little bit of a reversion of the mean. And I think it can continue. So you got to love those Dow stocks, across the board. Energy and mining is going to be really huge.
Round number two, copper questions. The last penny was minted in Philly this week. Is copper set up for an explosive, shiny price or tarnish?
We don't have enough copper. We've been talking about it. I've even gone as far to say that right now, copper could be more important to the future of the economy than crude oil. I mean, that's how important it is. If you're going to win the artificial intelligence revolution, you're going to need a lot of electricity generation. In fact, if you look at what we saw from the Energy Information Administration just this week, they're warning that electricity demand is going to skyrocket. 2.5% this year, another 2.6% next year. And to be honest with you, I think their numbers are very conservative. What are we going to do to meet that demand? Copper. We're going to have to redo the power grid, and there's just not enough.
Well, I'll talk just about the price. Now, the price of copper has been between 2 and 6 for the last 20 years. So a breakout of that range above that 6 sends it to 10. Now, more conservatively, if you take the price of copper in 2005, the high that was made then was back at 4. If you adjust that for inflation, it brings you to 666, an easy number to remember. So that's still 30% above. So regardless of how you look at it, the trend is strong, and a move back up above that 6 looks very, very likely from 5 where we are right now.
And 666 is the devil's number, but it's also the number where the S&P bottomed after the financial crisis. So keep that number in mind.
Exactly. That's why I always remember it.
Round number three, November to remember. The month started with a stumble, but how do you think November will end?
Well, the trend is strong. I'm not going to try and tell you when this train's going to come off of the tracks. You got to be buying dips and selling rips. And, we've been talking about this for weeks, months. I've been saying it for years and decades. And we really haven't been that wrong ever yet.
But it does seem like the timing of the market's a little bit out of whack, right? Normally, November, we're skyrocketing. This year, we're struggling a little bit. I think a lot of that has to do with the government shutdown. And now that's coming to an end. I think it's going to be very bullish, but we might see a little bit of a delayed reaction. But one of the things you get when you get a delayed reaction in this market is an overreaction to the upside. And I still think the market's going to be trying to find its ground here for the next couple of weeks. We could be up a little bit, down a little bit. But I think as we get into the end of the year and going into the new year, stocks could really skyrocket. So if you can get through the noise in the short term, you're going to have a lot of fun in the long term.
Well, the way I see it here is you're getting a second chance in a lot of summer stocks who are really strong that have seen some profit taking. From a risk reward standpoint, we're back to some key levels, and that's where I like to be a buyer to see if these floors hold or don't.
Bonus round question time. The penny is getting plenty of play this week. What is the average lifespan of a coin? Is it built to last 30 years, 20 years, or 10 years?
I'm going to say 30 because coins last forever. You're finding them on the bottom of the ocean from the 1500s.
Phil, what's your guess?
I'm going to go with Alan with 30 years.
It seems like coins are made to last forever, but 30 years is the correct answer. At least that's what they say. Thanks, guys. Business First, and we'll be right back.
I want to get some pennies for this year to give to my nieces because they won't know what pennies are.